Hello, Mother Cheesecake.
Hello, Papa Cheesecake.
I forgot.
No, you had like a nice pause in between.
I forgot our professional last name. You know what I mean?
You were like, right? You were like, hello, Mama Ring Ding.
Cheesies, somebody's got a birthday today.
The day we're recording, yeah.
And her name rhymes with Schmenifer Schmamard. Mother, I got you some gifts.
Oh.
Will you open them?
Is it in this bag
It's in
right
that
here?
bag. They're mostly Golden Girls themed.
Okay, beautiful.
Pull them out for the Cheesies and tell what you got.
I'm so excited. Oh, I got a Stay Spicy. It looks like a paint. Oh, it's a paint by numbers. It's Blanche.
It is Blanche.
Oh my God. This is actually going to soothe my anxiety. This is a great activity.
I was wondering if you would put that in your dressing room. It's definitely like an off market. It says Golden Girls nowhere on there. And so it kind of looks like Blanche.
Listen, but it's the Martinique Palms Fronds.
Totally.
If you don't know what that is, what are you even doing
What are
here?
you even doing here, Cheesecake?
I don't know if it'll be in my dressing room or just at home, but I love doing something that occupies my mind.
Yes.
But it's a quiet, tangible activity.
Yes.
That's why years ago I got into latch hook.
Oh.
And I'm never going to hang an ugly ass latch hook on my wall. But the activity is so soothing
You
to
got
me.
into latch hook.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I can see you doing it.
So
All right.
There's more?
What? Yeah, there's much more.
Oh my God, paper. I love
Paper.
it.
You're welcome.
Wait a now hold on one gosh darn second. I've got some slippers.
Okay, so these slippers, they look like they're Golden Girls themed, kind of, but also like in honor of Dot's baked potatoes. You know what I mean?
Listen, I need these in my dressing room.
Do you?
I have a pair, but they're more like boots. They're more like Uggs boots.
Yeah.
And I do need a warmer pair when I just want to slide something on quick.
Totally.
Without using my ham hock hands to hike them up. Okay.
Happy birthday. Okay, there's
Amazing.
more. There's more.
Oh, this is the best. Mad Libs. Golden Girls Mad Libs.
I
love
too.
give me an adverb.
Oh, it's always like vagina.
Oh, yes. Dirtier the
titties,
better. All right.
69.
Oh, my God. Oh, dear.
Oh, is that the two pigs doing it?
It's a making bacon, salt and pepper, making bacon.
This is not in Golden Girls themed, but it's two pigs doing it.
Listen, I was asking about the salt and pepper shakers on the table.
Oh, no.
So,
yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
This
That's
is
right.
perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, I've got a... I'm sorry, did I roll my eyes out loud?
It's a mug.
Oh, it's a mug.
No, it just sounded like something Dot would say.
Oh, right.
So it
Ready?
says, I'm sorry.
Here you go. Let me give you a little roll out. Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
Okay.
What else is in there?
A talking button.
Now, that has Golden Girls
Yes.
quotes, so you just hit it, and it gives you, and
I love
it's
it.
the actual actors.
Oh,
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
That makes me so happy. And then, what is
Lastly,
is this a saint somewhere? Oh,
It's
Saint Blanche.
it's a St. Blanche candle for the old dressing room.
This Delphinium Home. That's a great store. This could not make me happier.
All of this came from Delphinium Home. I am obsessed with that
love
store.
that
If you're ever in New York City,
47th Street.
47th Street.
Yeah,
Go
it's-
check it out.
All
Happy
right.
birthday,
Thanks. That's so
Mother.
thoughtful. I love you.
love you. You look divine today on your birthday.
Thank you.
You look gorgeous.
I will say that when I've seen the videos, it's no reflection on Erin, but
Yeah.
I just feel like I like how I look when I walk in, but then in these videos, I'm like, am I a potato? Luckily
the cameras have more coverage now,
Okay.
and so you can at least tell you're wearing clothes.
All I see is what the side boob. That's all I see. But
Oh
anyway.
my God. Anyway, hi,
Hi.
girl.
Hello.
All right, tell the cheesies what we're doing today.
Listen, cheesecakes.
I know.
If we had to sit through season 2, episode 26, Emptiness,
Yep.
then you goddamn better sit through it with us.
This is the most hated episode in the Golden Girls catalog. It is
And
by far the lowest rated. It is
Yeah.
by like tens of thousands of points or whatever.
Everyone skips this episode.
But I gotta tell you, having watched it with a critical eye, I didn't hate it.
No, I didn't either. And I thought Rita Moreno was lovely.
So good.
She gets a lot of undue shit. She was great.
Yeah, and this episode was meant to be a backdoor pilot for this to go and become its own spinoff. We all know, of course, that they eventually did do a spinoff of Emptiness, which was decidedly not this one.
Correct. And
know.
we'll have more. Oh God, will we have more? God damn it.
Well, let's show. So it's season 2, episode 26, written by Susan Harris, directed by Jay Sandrich, original air date May 16th, 1987.
So right off the bat, I've got a ditty about Jay Sandrich.
Oh, lay it on us,
all
Mother.
right. So he was born on February 24th, 1932 in Los Angeles.
1932?
Mm-hmm.
Wow-wee.
His father, Mark, was a director whose films included the Fred Astaire Ginger Rogers musical Top Hat. Remember that one? Famous.
No.
Top Hat.
Do you know? Are you being serious?
I'm being serious.
Oh, I don't know it.
Oh, go look it up.
Okay.
His mother, Frida, was a homemaker. As a child, Jace saw snow falling for the first time on the set of Holiday Inn.
Oh, that's cute.
In 1942. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
That was, of course, with the star and Bing Crosby, which his father was directing.
Wow.
All right. So it was an exciting sight, even if the snow was plastic. So he majored in film at UCLA, and he joined the Directors Guild of America without any credits. Quote, when I was in college, I got a phone call from a family friend who was working at the Directors Guild. My father had been president there. The guild rules at that time, in 1950 to 51, stated that sons of members, not
sons,
specifically not daughters, could be taken into the guild as assistant directors. So the family friend said, quote, if you're going to get in, do it now because they're going to change the rule. So he attended UCLA as well during the Korean War as part of the ROTC program. And when he graduated in 1953, he was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Army. And he made training films. So this is interesting. He began working for Desilu Productions, starting out as a second assistant director. He says, my then wife was pregnant, and as I was coming out of the Army, I had to choose whether to go into television or features, and features shot all around the world. And since he had the child coming, he thought it better to stay in town and go into television.
Desilu, that would be like Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball.
Yes, we have more here coming up. Mm-hmm. He later discovered he'd gotten the job because Mr. Argyle Nelson had been an assistant to his father on a film years earlier. And so he says, if my father hadn't been in the business and been the person he was, I probably never would have gotten all these chances. So a lot of it is nepotism. Keeping your job was different, but getting the jobs, that's the only reason. And I just love that self-awareness and humility.
Totally.
You know, that's
it's
nice.
The thing that Nepo babies are lacking today.
Just own it.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah. That's all.
You know who does it? Allison Williams from Girls, who's Brian Williams' daughter. She's like, yeah, I never would have gotten in the room without my dad.
No, and to his point, keeping yourself there is another story. So hats off to everyone for their continued success. But it is just nice to acknowledge, you know. Lucy Arnaz once revealed to Sandrich that, what is so hard about that, Jen? That her first job had been on a Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers film that Mark Sandrich directed. During that job, she got very nervous and couldn't remember her lines. So Jay's father was apparently very kind and helpful to her. And Sandrich was always convinced that he rose to the ranks quickly on I Love Lucy because so many people involved in that show loved his dad, Mark Sandrich, and wanted to help his son succeed.
Wow.
Yeah. Lucy and Argyle Nelson, who hired me, this is what he's saying, still remembered their experiences with my father 10 to 12 years after he passed away. People who worked with him loved him and were willing to help me. So that was something that I realized I got from my father as his legacy. However, he also often felt torn between Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz as their relationship deteriorated. Can you imagine how uncomfortable?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, can't choose sides. And,
no, go with Lucy.
So
go with Lucy.
After working as an assistant director, he got his first shot as a director on the show Make Room for Daddy.
Oh, yeah.
But he says he remembers waking up in the middle of the night fearful before directing the first few episodes. He was so scared, he thought no one was going to listen to him.
The Make Room for Daddy that I know it's a vastly different film. A vastly different film.
What did I learn on this podcast?
Bottoms get drinks for free?
Well, it's like tops, bottoms, and then...
Oh, verse. Jennifer's word, as a gay icon, there are things you need to know.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, now I know. But I will say his big career break came when the director of the Mary Tyler Moore Show dropped out and he was tapped for the job. He said it was the luckiest day of his career.
Wow.
Yeah. So he went on to direct 118 episodes of the Mary Tyler Moore Show, winning 2 Emmy Awards.
Wow.
He directed Soap, which was his next big hit, as we've discussed, written by Susan Harris. He directed 53 episodes. And he said, and I thought this was pertinent, he said, boy, could she write. And she wrote things from a woman's perspective that he'd never thought about. There was this scene when Katherine Hellman's character finally sees her husband at dinner with another woman. So she figures out that he's been lying to her all these years. And she comes home and she tells her sister, I'm so embarrassed. I don't want him to see me. And Sandrich thought, wow, as a man, I would say, I'll kill him, I'll beat him up.
Yeah.
So he just admired that. That's what Susan's perspective brought to it, you know? So in the 80s, he directed 100 episodes of The Cosby Show, winning 2 more Emmys.
Wow.
I mean, and as we see here, he directed the Golden Girls pilot.
Yes.
He's also credited with pushing the infamous Rose Blanche actor switch.
Oh.
That we discussed earlier. I just have to throw this in because it's one of my favorite comedies, and I mention it all the time because Goldie Hawn starred in it.
Yeah.
He directed the movie Seems Like Old Times in 1980.
Oh, wow.
It was the only feature he ever made.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a huge hit at the time. 44 million gross, I think, which is about 139 million today.
Wow.
His last credit was an episode of 2.5 Men, and sadly, He died of dementia in 2021.
Oh, my God. Jay, what a career.
What a career.
Well, shall we dive in?
Let's do it.
Well, we open in the kitchen. The place is a mess. And now, look, we learned right at the top the dishwasher is broken.
I wish Mr. Fix-It would come back and finish working on that dishwasher. The dishes are piling up like crazy.
Well, you know, Blanche, we could wash them. I mean, before dishwashers, people didn't just eat and wipe the dishes on their pants.
I used to love washing dishes. Oh, in Minnesota, the whole family'd get together and wash dishes. Even Uncle Gustav, after the giant Swiss Army knife accident, learned to dry dishes with his feet.
To which I'm like, Dorothy's right there. Get the green sweater. She's right there.
But my thing is, I love hand washing dishes. I prefer hand washing dishes.
I have this here.
Because they're acting as though there's no way to get the dishes clean ever again.
Patrick, I have here that if there was one luxury item that I could do without, I would say it's a dishwasher. I used to enjoy it as a kid. You know, just looking out the window.
Yeah.
We never had one growing up.
I was wondering if this was coming from like the New Yorker. Like most New Yorkers don't have a dishwasher. So we just get used to washing dishes by hand.
I guess so.
You know? But I prefer it.
Yeah.
Well, already we're hearing about a person named Mr. Fix-It.
That's right.
Put a pin in that.
Put a pin in that because we don't know who that is, right?
Yes.
And, you know, she's talking about the good old days where they used to wash their dishes in the river.
Yeah.
You know?
And everyone's annoyed by Rose because, of course, like this annoying thing about the dishwasher being broken can't just be annoying to Rose. It's like a thing that makes her happy because it reminds Rose of like the good times.
Yeah. And also just like Sophia's over it. Her chipperness is just getting on her nerves. She's like Patrick. She hates Rose.
What is it with you people? All you ever had were happy times? Happy times freezing in the cold. Happy times during the locust invasion. Happy times eating reindeer. How about death? Did you have happy times then?
Well, yes, actually, we did. It was a chance to get together and remember other happy times.
She's beginning to get to me. In Sicily, we used to wash our dishes in the river. We used to beat them against the rocks.
No, Sophia, you used to beat the clothes on the rocks.
No wonder they broke.
Imagine like carting things down to the river and like actually washing shit in the Hudson. You know what I mean?
I can picture it.
I just have this image of you like with your like bent over at the waist washing your hair in the river.
But you know, I would be like that scene in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I would be one of like the singing sirens.
Totally.
You know, just thirst traps everywhere.
Oh, with those knockers? Are you kidding me?
Just like a see-through white gauzy blouse.
Totally.
Just nips for days.
December.
You know, nips for days. And just like hiked up skirt, like, oh, you mean this whole thing? I'm just washing my unmentionables.
Has anyone seen Jen? Yeah, she's down at the Hudson seducing men again with her hair and her tits.
Well, all of a sudden, Patrick, an interloper arrives.
Yes, doorbell rings.
Mm-hmm.
Now we meet the neighbor. Her name is Renee.
You know why I know that?
Why?
Because they mention it 45,000 times. I counted. Can I just tell you here?
Please.
She enters at 2:11.
Yeah.
That's the first Renee. All right? The second Renee.
You hate this episode. I love it
so much.
I love it.
The first Renee happens at 2:13. The second Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Oh, hi, Rose.
Then you will talk to him tonight.
I will try.
Oh, Renee.
Dorothy, it's crazy, but I feel like how can I bother him? He's doing all this important stuff. And I'm going to bother him because I'm a little unhappy?
Renee, Jenny just left for college. All your kids are gone. This is a perfectly legitimate problem.
It's the empty nest syndrome. When I had it, I didn't know what it was. I was just very depressed. By the time I figured out what it was, I was going to tell Charlie, but he died that night.
We have 4 Renees in 30 seconds.
Well, are you ready for my ditty on Rita Moreno?
Please.
So Rita Moreno is an icon, right? I mean, she's still with us. We love her so much. She had a resurgence a couple of years ago when they remade West Side Story, and she was around a lot. So Rita Moreno was born Rosa Dolores Alverio on December 11th, 1931 in Humaco, Puerto Rico. After her parents divorced in 1935, she moved to New York City with her mother, who eventually remarried, and Rita later began using her stepfather's surname, Moreno.
Hey.
In an interview in 2025, she said, "This is wild." I mean, like, it makes so much sense, but it was crazy to hear. When I was 5, my mother brought me with her to New York City from Puerto Rico. The culture shock is still etched in my 86-year-old mind. The language, the snow. I had never seen snow. the racism, even among children, the name calling, suddenly I was different. So she quickly enrolled in dance classes. She began working professionally at age 10 when she was hired to dub voices for American child stars in films released to Spanish-speaking countries. And then in 1945, at age 13, she made her Broadway debut in a play called Skydrift, which I looked up, ran for 7 whopping performances. At age 16, she and her mother were, I don't like this, they were summoned to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel to meet Louis B. Mayer, the all-powerful head of MGM. They were told to go to his penthouse suite. I hate that. I don't like it. But upon seeing her, Mayer apparently exclaimed, quote, she looks like a Spanish Elizabeth Taylor, and he signed her to a 7-year contract.
Wow.
So she says her early career was hampered by studios wanting to cast her in stereotypical ethnic roles or as a sex pot. She experienced this even in the early notable films she was in, including Singin' in the Rain, in which she played like a sexy starlet, and in The King and I, in which she played a slave. But then in 1961, West Side Story was released, which was groundbreaking for its portrayal of the character Anita, played by Rita Moreno, and this role, of course, was a huge career breakthrough for her. She would later say, what was important about Anita to me, and still is that Anita, believe it or not, was the only part I ever remember where I represented Hispanics in a dignified and positive way. It represented a lot of breakthrough for young actors of Hispanic origin. She was saying she didn't have any actors of Hispanic origin to look up to when she was coming up. Right. And suddenly she was that for other young Hispanic actors.
Absolutely. You have to see it to believe it.
Yes. And she, of course, went on to win the Academy Award, which made her the first Latina actor ever to do so.
I remember when I found that, I was like, because my first introduction to her was Electric Company.
Yes, that's what Steve was saying. Yes,
and so like when you start to learn who people are and their canon of work, and that you're like, get it.
I know.
Come on.
I know. Academy Award. Isn't that wild? Like our friend Ariana DeBose, a person we know, a person I know in real life, went on to reprise that role in the Spielberg movie and then win the Academy Award.
Just queens.
Absolute fucking queens. So after winning the Oscars, she said she expected more opportunities to follow, but instead she was offered the same old stereotyped roles as gang members and housewives. She says, it was the heartbreak of my life. So she turned down the parts she thought were offensive and too insignificant and would not wind up making another movie for 7 years. But despite these challenges, Moreno went on to become one of only 21 people to have EGOTed. She's got an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. Rita Moreno won her Oscar in 1962 for West Side Story. She won her Grammy in 1973 for the children's program The Electric Company, which won Best Recording for Children at the 15th Grammy Awards. She won her Tony in 1975 as a supporting character in Terrence McNally's play The Ritz. Now, Steve, who played for me today, she sings Everything's Coming Up Roses in that, and it's so great. It was, I'd never seen it. I was so excited to see it. And she won back-to-back Emmys in 1977 and 1978. First, the category was supporting actress in a variety or music program for her work on The Muppets, and then as a lead actress in a single episode for The Rockford Files.
I love the theme song to The Rockford Files.
Oh, I don't even know it.
I'm doing it now. Go listen to it. It's actually really good. It's really good.
And she's still with us to this day. Like, she's just a queen. Everybody loves her. Like icon, legend. She's still around.
Listen, Judy Katz represents her. I've heard nothing but great things. And I love Rita Moreno and I love Judy Katz.
Oh, my God. And so Rita Moreno would say later that her character, they did not know what to do with her character. So they kept rewriting it and rewriting it and rewriting it. So this was her first scene that she shot, and she couldn't remember her lines because they had given her so many different versions. And she said they did this scene in front of the studio audience 15 times.
Oh.
And the women, Bea and Betty and Rue, she said, she didn't really know them, but she could feel them like really pulling for her.
Yeah.
Because this is meant to be a big break for Rita Moreno. She's an EGOT and all of that, but this was hopefully going to be a big spinoff for her. And they just wanted it to work for her, but they did not know what to do with these characters.
Right.
And we're going to learn later, too, that Susan Harris wrote the original script, but then got sick. So all of the rewrites went to the underling writers. And no, I don't mean that, like, no offense, Danny. I just mean like the writers, like the staff writers.
She did create as the creator, you know.
Right.
So.
And she wasn't there to shepherd this would-be pilot through its week of production. And so this scene is a mess. And, she comes in, she looks gorgeous. She's wearing this like skirt, blouse, belt combination.
Drop belt. I'm a fan.
Me
too.
It
looks like the Dorothy Spornett collection, only nice.
Yes, but it's also the beigeness of it isn't working for me.
Oh, really?
She looks kind of like a carpet.
Oh, I just thought she looked stunning.
She looks really good, but I wanted a little bit more vibrancy or something.
I get that.
So she's there. Basically, it's as though she's been coming over every day for a month,
That's
being like, let's go do something.
I'm like, who the hell are you?
Exactly.
Did you used to live with Stephanie? Like, why do we know you?
She's your worst.
And that's why they're saying her name over and over and over again.
Yeah. She's your worst idea of a neighbor because she wants to hang out all the time. She's the me of the neighborhood. Hi, Jen. Hi, girl.
Renee. Hi, Renee. Oh, Renee, I've got stuff to do.
But what stuff? Can I do it with
stuff.
you? Tell me more. I'm following right around behind you. Hi.
But we learn right away that there's a husband named George who we immediately learn is a doctor.
And we learn that, like, she hasn't, quote, talked to him.
Well, and the big ish here is empty nest syndrome. We learn about this right away, the title of the episode. And the ladies do start to commiserate about empty nest syndrome. Their innate understanding of it, except for Blanche, guys, because why?
I never had that empty nest depression. I couldn't wait for my kids to get out on their own. I got depressed watching them grow older because it meant I was getting older. They were like noisy little calendars. The minute they all entered high school, I told everybody they were my husbands from a previous marriage.
You wonder why they're in therapy.
The whole thing about Blanche here, it's so true to the character, is that, like, all of the other women are like, I was so sad when my kids moved out. It was, and Rose, of course, couldn't even have the time to get sad because the day her last kid moved out, Charlie died. Like, Rose, that's a lot of story to be giving to us in one moment.
Ouch. Talk about a lot to get over all at once. I mean, good God.
Remember that episode of The Flash where she's just baking cakes for herself?
Do I remember? Yes. I cried and I snot cried and voice memoed you. I can't get through this. But I do have to say that, she's so funny here, though, because, basically her kids getting older is a reminder that she was getting older. But I love that she thought of them as noisy little calendars. I thought that was brilliant.
What a shitty parent.
I know.
No wonder Blanche's kids never come to visit.
The narcissism of it all. And
I know.
Look, Dorothy's right there with you. Right?
I know.
I mean,
that's why they're all in therapy.
And that's right.
And now we learn that Renee, like, her husband George is a doctor, and she is afraid of, like, bothering George with her, like, quote, like, she thinks it's like a dumb problem or whatever because he's like so important and saving lives. And so she's staying up all night calling into these like radio talk shows where she's got a plan to solve the crisis in the Middle East. It is so ridiculous.
The big plan is giving the Palestinians Greenland.
And Rose was like, that was you. You were amazing. Rose is in full agreement.
Yeah.
And then Dorothy's like, you're going to give a desert people like a frozen island. Right. And Rose thinks just a couple parkas is going to solve the issue.
Just give her some of Sophia's sweaters.
I know.
They'll be fine.
Maybe they can take those slippers I got you for your birthday.
Maybe.
Oh my God. Renee is saying, like, look, I can't just like talk to my husband. He's not just any husband. He's a super husband. Because at the hospital, they call him St. George. He's just a doctor, girl.
He's just a doctor.
And I get that what they do is hard, but he's just a doctor.
Sophia brings up St. Francis of Assisi, and I have to say that was my childhood parish.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. St. Francis of Assisi.
I always thought St. Francis was pretty hot. My mom had a painting of St. Francis, like all levitating. And he was like, he's totally my type. He was like thin and that little robe, sinewy. He was kind of balding, but like still had like that good head of hair.
What you should write, like if you're ever, in the market, you're just like, what's your type? I'm looking for a sinewy saint.
Someone who can talk to the animals. What's that donkey say?
I'm a tiger. What are you? Just must role play. Animals.
I do remember once telling my mom, I thought St. Francis was hot. Oh, Patrick. She said, "Oh, Patrick."
Well, do you know what I used to? Oh gosh.
Well,
you remind me. You know the imp of the perverse. It's that thing that you want to do but you shouldn't do. Like, let's say,
that list could be long with you, Samar.
Yeah, but it's like like you're standing on that impulse of like, oh God, I don't want to get too close to the edge because I might want to jump.
Yeah,
I
just told my friend Nicholas, the fear of heights is not the fear of falling; it's the fear of jumping.
Yeah, exactly. And so that reminds me that I used to sometimes, because I was raised Catholic, I used to have an inadvertent word pop into my head and I felt like I'm going to go to hell when I would say the Hail Mary. Okay, so listen, it's supposed to go like this, everyone. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. And I could not get this out of my head. I was like, Hail Mary, full of shit, the Lord is with thee. Isn't that terrible? Oh my God, I'm going to hell. stop it. Stop it.
Anyway.
So Renee doesn't want to ask George to cut back on his practice.
Rose agrees because he's Rose's doctor.
And he's the only doctor, the only man, Patrick, who's ever seen her naked.
Now, we'll get to that in 1 second. Rose, can you stop thinking about yourself for one goddamn second? This lady's been coming to your house every day for 5 weeks, annoying the living shit out of Jen. Sitting down, she's just asking him to cut back a couple of hours. You know what I mean? Rose is like, no, you can't do it.
Possibly. But when she first said that, until we learn more, I'm like, first man to see you naked. I was like, what about Miles on the cruise? It was wonderful. I was in my pink satin robe the whole time.
She had sex
through
the
bathroom. He
bathroom.
just lifted it up, standing against the wall in the bathroom. I'm like, really? Oh.
Girl, what? Just wondering what Blanche had to say when she found out that the doctor was the only person to the only man to have ever seen Rose naked.
George is the only man to ever see me naked.
Get out of here.
Well, except for Charlie, of course.
Get out of here.
And the vet.
Get out of here. And we get it twice.
We get it twice.
Get out of here.
But then we learn, except for, so this man was the only person to see her naked, except for Charlie and the vet who sexually assaulted her.
That's what I thought. I said, this is such an upsetting conversation.
It's
this is where we learned that she was sexually assaulted by the veterinarian.
By the veterinarian.
Horrible. Not funny.
Not funny at all.
Not funny at all. That's why I have it underlined here. Moving on.
Everyone is saying you have to talk to him. She's saying, that's right. I just got to figure out when is a good time.
I have here Stephanie's roommate, Renee, says Dorothy. I think you're right.
But then she's trying to figure out the right time to do it. She's like,
I'll go home right now and tell him. I'll cook breakfast for him. Waffles, he loves waffles.
Oh, good.
Well, I'll tell him at dinner. Dinner's better. He won't be rushing. I'll make something great. I'll tell him in bed. Yeah, bed's better.
It always works.
When he's asleep, I'll tell him when he's sleeping.
Renee, come on.
I'll sound like a wimp. I can't possibly tell him.
Listen, last week I left him a stool sample. If I can talk to him about that, you can tell him your own.
I'll do it over breakfast. I'll do it over waffles.
I know. She's going through this list. And I was like, hey, Stephanie's roommate, nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
We can't do KLS Settle right now.
I'm sorry.
We're not going to go over the accents. Do you know that she's American when she's in America? She's British when she's in England, and she's Australian when she's in Australia.
I do not, but she's my friend, and she came to see Death Becomes Her. She was still British.
She was British in America? Kayala Settle is one of my oldest friends.
Yeah.
I have said this to her face.
And with that song that I just ditty, that's credit to her.
Cares.
Nobody cares.
It's a Seth
Nobody
Rudetsky
cares.
thing. She cooked us dinner right before she moved to England. She was still American. Now she's British and Australian, depending on the interviewer.
Okay, she's allowed.
Okay, great.
She's allowed.
Nobody let it be said that I was ever able to get Samara to talk shit. I was never able to do it. But I wanted to point out that Renee is going through all of the places and times that she could tell George. And when she gets to, I'll tell him in bed, Blanche vehemently agrees that bed is the right time. It's the right place.
Sophia's sitting there talking about how if she can talk to George about her stool sample, Renee can do this. And she's also disgusting because she's eating a donut. There's powder on her lip, making a mess of those soap lips.
Can I just say that, as a human being, no human being should ever have to give a stool sample. I'm embarrassed enough when I go get a physical and I have to walk out of the bathroom with a urine sample. And they asked for it. You know what I mean?
I know. I had to give one once where I had to mail it in.
A stool sample?
Yeah.
You don't poop.
You're right. What am I saying? What am I saying? I was just trying to make up a story.
Now, wait a second. Jennifer, 3-time Tony nominee Samard's poop was once sent through the mail.
It was sent through the mail. And let me just tell you, it wasn't.
Steven's going to try to make us cut this, but I will not let him make us cut this.
Here's the problem. It wasn't really a sample so much as a trophy. That thing. I mean, let me just say, they got plenty of evidence. I was like, I had a good day. Here you go, guys. You know what? Spread it around the office. You can share it. Everybody would have gotten a bite. I
need a t-shirt that says it wasn't so much a sample as it was a trophy.
It was impressive, honestly.
Steve, we're keeping it. There's nothing you can do to make me cut that. We're keeping it. Oh, God. All right, next scene, we're at George and Renee's house.
I was going to say, can I lead us in here?
You can do anything you want after that story.
So next scene, you know whose house we're at, Patrick?
Who, girl?
Renee's.
I know.
Oh, God damn it.
I know. We spend an inordinate amount of time in her house and meeting the people.
Looking at the outside of the house.
I know. We meet neighbors who are clearly neighbors of Blanche and Dorothy and Rose and Sophia. We never meet them on that show.
I hate it all so much. And you know what?
know.
So do the listeners. So we see a man who's obviously George, and he's talking to some guy, Leonard, about a diet he gave him.
But here's the problem. George is a doctor, and all of his patients have his home phone number.
Yeah.
And his practice is not out of his house, because we'll learn in the end
that he wants to be the Cosby Show, basically. Yes.
But it's like, this is part of the problem. He's not just working at work. He's working at all
No
hours.
boundaries. No boundaries. Right.
Yeah.
There's a knock at the door. He goes over.
It's a guy named Chuck, right? Now, this character is so interesting to me.
Hi, Chuck. George, I'm a multiple personality. How do you know which one of the three of me I am?
Well, because Mr. Fix-It and Boris use a key.
Well, the three of us all live in the same body. I don't know why they don't let me use the key.
Don't they give you medication at the home, Chuck?
Oh, no. The doctor says I don't have to take it anymore. It doesn't stop the multiple personalities. It just relieves anxiety. I'm not anxious. I make other people anxious.
Imagine this is meant to be a pilot. So these are characters that are going to be developed over, hopefully, seasons and seasons, right? So this guy comes in. We learn right away that he's Renee's brother, and he's got multiple personality disorder. And not only, thank God, is the multiple personality disorder not played as a joke. It's played seriously.
Yeah.
And all I could think about was if this iteration of Empty Nest had gone to series, they would have really had a lot of material for this guy, because we're going to also learn in a minute, he's also Mr. Fix-It. So remember in the opening, they were waiting for Mr. Fix-It.
Right.
They're waiting for Renee's brother's, one of his personalities, to come and fix the dishwasher. And I just thought this actor was really good. I thought the character was really interesting. This was when I was like, wait, do I not hate this episode?
Yeah.
Because that multiple personality thing not being played for laughs was in a sitcom was really interesting to me.
I agree, Patrick. And nowadays they call it dissociative identity disorder.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And sort of like I have, because I was a soap opera fan growing up.
Oh my God.
Erica Slezak famously played, was she Vicky? The character of Vicky.
Oh,
Is it Erica Slezak? Is that right?
The blonde lady?
Yeah, I think she played Vicky.
Okay.
I think I'm getting that right.
Vicky and Nikki.
Yes, she had multiples, and that's what she would call them, and her others. It was so interesting when she integrated them all, so what I found fascinating about his character is that each of his alters is aware of the other.
Yes, they know that the other ones exist.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Renee comes in and says hi, and to your point, that's where we learned that the relation is that Chucky is her brother, and he was looking for a new apartment, but he's not sure he can afford 3 bedrooms. He's hell-bent on 3 bedrooms, one for each altar.
Personality.
I know.
And my thing
which
about
I thought
this
was cute.
I thought it was so interesting that we learned that he lives at a home, that he is on medication. We learned that the medication does not help with the dissociative disorder. It only helps with the anxiety. And that's where the laughter is coming from. That, like, we're learning about. I thought it was so interesting.
You know, you just said something that inspired me. It's almost like the episode with the little person.
Yes.
Who was so comfortable with himself, it set everyone else at ease.
Well, and I was thinking that this actor probably had multiple Emmys in his future. Like, if this character had gone to
he's a good
series,
actor.
He's really good, because we'll meet Mr. Fix-It in a minute, and it's a totally different character. And what a challenge for an actor to play that authentically.
Yes.
I just thought the way that we were learning that, like, the medication of the day didn't fix the disorder, but all it did was help the anxiety. And somebody with dissociative identity disorder could live on their own, but it will also be true. I just thought it was handled so beautifully.
Listen, and continuing with the fascination, if I may. So Renee's carrying groceries into the kitchen, and they're talking about whether or not they have a dog.
Yes.
And, you know, her husband's like, we don't have a dog. She's like, but maybe we do. Maybe he can see things we don't have the power to see. And that got me excited.
Yes,
because they say we only use 10% of our brains. You know, and
she says she read about it in a book. Like, it sounds like she read about it in a medical book.
Right. And so, you know, we often wonder about that. Like, what is the actual lived experience with someone with autism, for example, and the term idiot savant, you know, people like that who just are so hyper focused and so good at
one
certain thing, you know, it always makes me wonder what sort of untapped superpower to, genius is actually what lies beneath all of this.
Or just like imagine like you grew up somewhere where singing wasn't an option and you didn't know like with what you can do. One of the singular talents of our generation. Imagine you didn't know you could do that.
Right.
And
her point is like she says, there's a chosen people. What is the quote?
People with mental illness are the chosen.
I love that line so much. And of course, he makes the Shirley MacLaine joke. For those of you who don't know, at this time, she was coming out very strong about her past lives.
Yes. Yes. And I just, I made the note here because it's in my show and I talk about it every night that like, on the Golden Girls, they went out of their way to show gay people as like fully realized, non-caricature people, people with a real lived experience. And I thought it was so interesting that they were doing that with this as well. And I was like, I want to know more about this character.
Yeah.
Like, he would have been my favorite character on the show.
It's funny how overall, of course, you and I and many people don't like this episode, but this is the one thing that really kind of hooked me.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So George and Renee are sitting, they're both at the kitchen table at this point.
Yes.
They're with a pot of coffee. She kind of starts in. She's like, we need to talk. But what? The phone rings.
I can't look at you. You called it a trophy. And now all I can think about is you producing that trophy.
Well, eat your fiber, everyone.
Well, because what happens is that she says to him,
George, we've got to have a talk.
Okay.
We have problems. Marital problems.
Excuse me, honey. Hello. Hello, Mr. Schechter. Oh, that is good news. I'm very happy for you. Goodbye, Mr. Schechter. Mr. Schechter peed.
So, what do you think?
I think I'd be thrilled if I could pee at his age.
What about our marriage? I'm worried about us.
What are you talking about? We're great.
I don't think we're great.
Can you imagine in your life raising a bunch of kids with a person, this is your partner, and they say to you, we have marital problems, and you don't take it seriously enough to let the fucking machine get it?
Yes, but also long relationship-itis. I mean, it's so common to take your significant other for granted, and to think, well, they'll be back when after I take this phone call.
Truly. And it's like, it's
or they'll be there, after I take this phone call.
Yeah. His work is like the financial engine of the family. So I'm sure he feels like he has the right to get up and do that or whatever.
Right.
But I just thought we have marital problems. Like if Steve said that to me, everything else would stop and we would have a long conversation.
Exactly.
It's
Mr. Schechter on the phone, by the way. He's 97.
And he peed.
It's
so exciting. It's kind of like that time you pooped.
That's right. No, and I had a relative who they wouldn't let him leave the hospital unless they could pee. And this person was so afraid of not being able to do that because they were in fact sent home with a colostomy bag, and it's no fun. Like you have to empty.
This is the grossest episode we've ever. Did you just say colostomy bag?
But this reminds me that everyone. I have the best Halloween costume idea that I've never executed.
Oh, my God.
All right, picture this. Sicily. Okay. Now, I'm in a hospital gown, but then I'll buy a box of white, the boxed wines. I take out the bag of white wine, but attach a tube to it so everyone can see. I'll hang it outside the hospital gown, and I'll have the tube, and it's just me drinking white wine at the party, but it looks like I'm drinking my pee.
Yeah, what is wrong
Which is Halloween, and it's scary, see?
You're not okay.
You're just figuring that out. Really? Everyone else knows.
I'm not even sure I want to snuggle with you anymore. I'm not even sure I want to.
All right.
And the other thing, too, is that George is like, not only is he not paying attention to her, he's like, what are you talking about? Our marriage is great. You know what I mean? Listen to your goddamn wife.
I know. And he's in denial. And she's like, he thinks it's great. She doesn't think it's great.
Yeah. The doorbell rings. Yeah. They go to the front door. It's Rose and Sophia. They're looking for Mr. Fix-It. And I wrote here, leave it to Rose to be the insensitive prick. Because when they tell Rose that Chuck is here, she literally asks if he can turn himself into Mr. Fix-It to come fix their... Could you have a little empathy?
I know.
This man has clearly suffered a serious trauma to give him multiple personalities.
Or not,
Yeah?
I mean, it might not have been... I don't know if this is a nature-nurture thing. Yeah. This might have been more biological than a trauma.
And truly, I don't know enough about it. But Rose, you know what? It's not meant to be to your advantage, girl. Get Dorothy to fix the dishwasher.
I will say, though, to your point, and it's awful, but a lot of dissociative identity disorders can be traced back to horrific events that happen to children.
Trudy Chase, was that her name? Like the woman who wrote When the Rabbit Howls or whatever, like that book that they turned into a movie with Shelley Long. I only know about this disorder from Oprah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the people who came on Oprah because of having suffered all that trauma.
So that's a question, I guess. I don't know if there's ever a case where, You can't, it didn't come out of trauma.
Right.
Well,
now Sophia tells a truly hilarious story about a guy with multiple personality disorders in her village.
In Sicily, we had a guy with a multiple personality, only they didn't get along. And one personality put out a contract on the other. You should have seen it. He had a shootout with himself in the piazza. He winged a priest, a waiter, and shot down the Cinzano sign. Fortunately, he was able to beat himself senseless before anyone else got hurt.
Fortunately, he was able to beat himself senseless before anyone else got hurt.
And just then, you know what? Mr. Fix-It appears.
Yeah.
He's come bounding down the stairs telling George he rewired his phone, Patrick.
I love it.
And I do love, though, that both Rose and Sophia are, again, relaxed, accepting of the whole thing.
Oh, totally.
And Sophia finds it hilarious.
Yes. But one more time, we now see this actor doing the other personality. We don't ever get to meet the third personality.
No.
And I'm like, oh my God, if I would have watched that show just to see what that guy does.
Exactly.
So
before he's on to the next thing and before his personality changes, they do ask him if Rose says, could you finish our dishwasher?
Yeah. Rose.
And
George decides he's got to go to the office.
And Renee's like, this can't wait. George, I have nothing to do anymore. The kids are gone. She's still trying to explain it to him. I thought very patiently and lovingly and kindly. And he says to her, well, why don't you get a job?
Right.
And she said she was thinking about doing that.
Which I love because we learned that she had been in the entertainment business. She wants to go back. They're really setting the characters up. I will say Susan Harris, at the very least, I would have been interested to see what kind of jobs in the entertainment business Renee would have got.
This is very creative writing that they place Renee here as being the legs of the dancing cigarette box.
Yeah, I know.
I can see that image.
No, totally. But it's setting it up for oh my God, I was thinking about the community theater crossover episodes we'd be doing. You know what I mean?
I like it. So Renee, though, she's trying to emphasize to him that their marriage is in real trouble.
You've got a part too. You've got to be here more.
Well, you never complained before.
The kids were here. I didn't notice. But George, time is important now. And with them gone, we're supposed to be together in a new way. I saw it on a coffee commercial. I think Taster's Choice. This couple, we're supposed to be like that. Just the two of them, sipping coffee together for as long as they have left.
Must be one hell of a cup of coffee.
Now that the kids are out of the house, she wants these years to be magical. I think about that with Steve.
Yeah.
I think about when Daisy's out of the house.
Yeah.
All of the things that we'll do that we can't do now. I totally understand. But, a little bit of justice for George. He's been doing this since they've been married, since they've had kids. The kid just moved out. My issue with George is just listen to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's distracted again and he leaves.
Yes.
And I will say here, how sometimes we don't like to just regurgitate the episode. We like to comment on it. And I did have a thought, and I'm curious to know your thoughts here. I thought to myself, this right here to me might be truly one of the reasons why this didn't work.
Yeah.
And I say that because while the Golden Girls was masterful at sometimes handling deep topics.
Yeah.
This one, they come back to this issue over and over and over again. And I have to say, I think it's not unheard of that a lot of people watching this program on Saturday nights probably also had marital troubles.
Oh, totally.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Late in life. This is probably the demographic, right?
Yeah.
And I just think it might not have been an escape for people's problems.
Oh my God, that's a great call.
Can
you imagine sitting uncomfortably next to your wife on the couch being like,
this is us. That's what I'm saying.
Totally
people watch this to escape, and this wasn't really an escape episode.
No, and it's also what are the situations going to... For older women still in their sexual prime, you can endless situations for that. But a married couple, no kids with zany neighbors. We're going to meet another dickhead of a neighbor in a second. The only one to make it to the actual Empty Nest series when it happens. But there's not a lot of story here, which is why it makes sense to me that they were writing and rewriting and rewriting. They didn't know what's the conflict.
Yeah.
Because either he's going to not give up work hours and she's just gonna start having affairs and leave his ass.
Yes.
Or he is, and then there's just gonna be the two of them puttering around the house.
Yeah. And I'm gonna say something too that I thought, and I have it later, but since we're talking about it now, I'll say it. I also thought maybe it wasn't so successful because I'm not sure George was just dripping with sexuality, or you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you know,
right. At one point, she's like, "Never cheat on me." He's like, "What's sex?"
I mean,
You know
there's just
what I mean?
there's no real hot factor there.
No.
You're like, she's pretty hot, and like, there's no chemistry.
Well, I'm looking across
like,
at you, and I'm thinking, you've always said that you're about the age of Blanche, and you're so fucking hot. You know,
well,
like,
thank you.
There's no world in which like sex isn't a part of your life. Sex and pooping,
but
the
also,
Jennifer
like,
Simard story.
But also at the empty nest, that it wasn't Mr. Mulligan in that, right?
Yeah, Richard Mulligan.
And I'm sorry, he's sexy.
Very sexy.
So I guess it's all in the eye of the beholder. But, you know, like, it's no Detective Mullins for me.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But Rita Moreno is sexy as hell.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So that's just my take. But
yeah. No, that's a great call.
Oh, thank you.
This pilot was doomed from the start.
I think so.
It's one of those, I feel like.
Because I think we're saying here, it actually wasn't all that bad.
The idea, the
but
acting is good. I really like the side characters. I think the side, which is why that other actor survives to the actual Empty Nest series, and we'll get to him in a minute.
Yeah. So we come back from commercial on the outside of the interloper's house, and thank God, Sophia, Rose, Dorothy, they're all back. They're there with Renee. You know, they're bringing in a tray of snacks and a teapot into the living room.
Because they're all getting ready to go out to see A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. What? That is such a weird thing.
I know.
I love Rose saying, "Do you have to see parts 1, 2, and 3 to appreciate it?" No, Rose, it stands alone.
Stands alone. You know, the lead actor of that movie, I did a film with him, and he was the nicest guy, the opposite of Freddy Krueger.
I could own, what's his name, like Robert Englund or something like that, England?
Mm-hmm.
I would be absolutely terrified.
He could not have been nicer. He saw my show in LA. I was doing I Love Your Perfect Now Change.
Oh my God.
He saw it, and he's just had this.
The Krug came to your show?
Somewhere I have a Polaroid of us, but like, I think it's long gone. Like, my death becomes her ticket stub. But I held on to it for years. But he could not have been more opposite than one of the most terrifying characters in movie history.
The one time I took an edible in Seattle a couple of years ago, I took 20 milligrams by accident, which like, you know, the starter is like 5. I took 20.
Oh, shit.
I was sitting in my hotel room and I became utterly convinced that Freddy Krueger was hiding in the shower.
No. Oh, God, that's terrifying.
And the way
I
inched towards it, and the shower curtain was closed and it was facing me.
Shit.
And I had to walk ever so slowly over to the shower. And I
never again. Never again.
I ripped it open.
Ugh.
I was just staying in a very fancy hotel in Florida.
Yeah.
Because my flight got delayed. I didn't have a lot of options. I needed something last minute. It was the only thing I could get. Whatever. In the middle of the night, not in the middle, I'm like sitting there watching TV. Cockroach walks across the wall.
It's literally, it's like swimming in the ocean. Like, you're in our house now. This is Florida, bitch. You bothered by me? I'm bothered by you.
I know.
Hey, Hines, deal with it. The roach.
I will say,
I'm the roach.
Oh my God.
And this is my house.
I had a friend who we were watching a movie and he was very brave. He stood up and he dealt with it. I was not.
You don't say.
I was
so surprised. Shocked, really.
I was hiding under the. Oh my God!
It's like my best friend Rob. I went to Mackinac Island with him.
Yeah,
I love the movie Somewhere in Time, and I went to all the Somewhere in Time sites. That's where they filmed the movie.
What the hell is Somewhere in Time?
It's a movie with Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour.
Jane's Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
It's a time travel romance film.
God, that's so up your alley.
But there's theater in it. Christopher Plummer plays a ne'er-do-well director. Go check it out. It's very romantic. Anyway.
You are like such a sexy nerd. I love you so much.
I am. Sexy nerd. That's my brand. Sexy nerd.
Yeah, but I do want your book to be called Sex and Pooping. I do think
I might make it sexy nerd. I like
sexy nerd.
But what was the theater in the movie is what when I went there was a haunted house, like a maze haunted house. And my best friend in the dark grabbed me by the shoulders and put me in front of him like a human barricade.
No, in front of who?
In front of himself, so that whatever came, I had to feel it first.
Yeah, that's what I would do to you. There's no question about it. There's no question.
But you know what? I'm brave. I got it. All right, so Jenny, the daughter, walks in. Here's another.
Yes.
What are we up to? Three interlopers now.
I don't need her back for the series. You know what I mean? This character's not that interesting.
No.
She's the daughter. She went to college.
Columbia, by the way.
Smart girl.
Yeah.
But we learned that she went there because she followed her boyfriend.
Right, and she's mad because he's with another girl, right?
The only funny part of this whole thing is that, like, the boyfriend cheated on Jenny with some sex pot bombshell blonde who had it all, brains, money, body, the whole thing. And the only thing that's funny funny about this is all of them are relating to losing their first loves in a situation like this, except for Blanche.
Oh, mine was Larry Raganetti. Oh, how I loved him. He was gorgeous. He left me for Cookie Kelly. She kissed with her mouth open.
Well, why didn't you kiss with your mouth open, Dorothy?
I was 8.
So?
It's happened to all of us, sweetheart, and we've all survived.
Never happened to me.
Oh, come on, Blanche. What, you were never rejected?
Well, once, but just once.
By who?
Weight Watchers for being too thin.
So funny. All right. The girls go to leave. They're all leaving, and I'm like, please, girls, don't leave us. God, here comes George.
I gotta say, George is the least interesting.
I agree, and I'm so sorry. Because I know he's a fine actor. I know that. But
he comes in, he's thrilled to see his daughter.
Yeah.
Like, this whole scene is like her basically deciding she's going to go back to school. And what we get out of this scene is that Renee is saying she'll take her back personally. And when the daughter leaves, and it's now Renee and George, Renee is saying to George, like, the thing about taking her back is I feel needed. This is what I need. This is what my life has been, raising the children. This is what I am lacking now. And like, she's being very clear on what she wants and what she needs.
So here a neighbor enters. His name is Oliver. He's kind of like a poor man's Arthur Fonzarelli.
Yeah. So this actor's name is David Leisure.
I have a deep dive on him. I can do it right now.
You have one on David. I'm obsessed. I'm so glad to hear.
So David Leisure was born November 16th, 1950 in San Diego. He began acting while studying drama at Grossmont College and San Diego State University. During college, he roomed with actor Robert Hayes.
Who's that?
Oh my gosh, you can look him up. He did tons of stuff. I think he was Angie's husband on Angie. Like, you'll recognize him. He did a million things.
Yeah.
This was before he hit hard times and he had to move into his van. Okay. So after graduating, he worked in local theater in San Diego. Then he moved to Los Angeles and he landed his first role 6 years later in Airplane. And that's what Robert Hayes is most known for. He was the lead in Airplane.
That man is beautiful.
Well, yes.
Can we talk just like for 1 minute about how hot that guy is?
So hot.
He's so hot with like that floppy hair and those ice blue eyes.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, he struggled to find work, our David, and he ended up back in his van.
I always wonder where they shower. Where do they poop when they move into the van?
I'm going to tell you right now.
Oh, great.
Quote, I lived in my car for a year. I used to park in front of friends' houses, then knock on their door in the morning and ask to use the bathroom.
The actual Oliver. He's of it all.
He just wanted to leave trophies for them.
Oh, God.
So during this hard time.
Why do we have to do that? Why do our bodies have to produce waste?
Isn't that mean?
I know.
I agree. So eventually he took a job waiting on tables in Burbank restaurant and he was able to afford rent. He began landing some commercial gigs as a TV pitchman. Bell Atlantic hired him to boost ad sales for their Yellow Pages.
What a great job.
Various things here and there. But he hit the TV commercial jackpot as Joe Azuzu. The liar Joe Azuzu was this very famous ad campaign.
Oh, okay.
According to the ad agency, when they hired him, they said, Leisure could lie like a pro. When we saw him, we knew he was Joe Azuzu. He was cast in 1987 in the Empty Nest episode that we're doing right now in the Golden Girls.
Yes.
And in 88, he was cast again in the reworked, like you said, Empty Nest spinoff as Charlie.
Yes.
Which was another great gig for him. Or he said it, quote, the best job in town. He's like, I love playing Charlie. People expect him to do the unexpected. You never know what'll happen when he walks in the door and what outlandish thing he'll say.
And he'd come in and be like in 1 or 2 scenes in an episode, always be like the comic relief.
Well, I'll tell you, he said it's a great paycheck, the best job in town. He's like, I would come in at 10 a.m., do my little zingers and go home early.
Yeah.
He said, ironically, the man who became famous as an obvious liar says he now makes the other characters on his show more believable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Charlie's so strange. He makes the rest of the cast look credible. After me, they all look solid. His brief appearance in the premiere episode left the impression that he wandered in from a different show on a nearby set.
Yeah.
Then in 1992, he returned to the Golden Girls as Charlie in his Empty Nest character. And that episode is called Questions and Answers. So we're going to get there in season 7.
That's because I was going to say, I don't ever remember. I remember seeing like Carol and Barbara, the daughters from Empty Nest, would be on the Golden Girls all the time.
Yeah.
And Sophia was famously on Empty Nest all the time.
Yeah.
But I never remember seeing like the other people from the neighborhood who were in Empty Nest on the Golden Girls. So I'm glad to hear that Charlie was there.
And we're going to just wrap this up. His Joe Azuzu character came back in 1999, continued through 2001. After that, he got a lot of roles on soap operas. And he did it in 2020, an episode of The Goldbergs. And I love this. He played Captain Rogers, and the episode title was Airplane to bring it all the way back.
Great. Yeah. Oh, I love it.
That's my little ditty on him.
So he's the annoying neighbor, Oliver, and he's not as polished in this as he is in the real Empty Nest later. Like, and it seems like the family really doesn't like him.
Yeah.
So, this scene ends with Jenny deciding she's going to leave. She's going to go back to school the next day. She goes out for the night. Oliver won't leave.
What is this thing?
A liver spot.
No. Oh, God. A liver spot?
It's benign, Oliver.
My father had liver spots. He looked like a Dalmatian. So, what's this family talk about, guys?
It's private, Oliver.
So would you please excuse us? Sure. Oliver, get out of my house.
You mean go?
Yes.
Why didn't you say so? See you guys.
You know something?
What's that?
Oliver!
I'm sorry.
He asked George, the doctor, to look at this liver spot on his cheek. And I was like, God damn it, being a doctor or a lawyer, that must actually be your whole life.
Yes, I know. On your downtime.
Yeah.
Can you just look at this, my friend?
Or can you tell me if I can sue my neighbor? You know what I mean?
Right. So George and Renee, again, they come back to it. They're talking again.
She wants to be a team.
That's right. That's right. So she decides to go to New York with Jenny because like we were talking about, she feels needed.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So, we have the transition music, and I think to myself, are we done? Nope.
No,
we're going to be back at our girl's house. No, we're not, Patrick.
We're at George and Renee's house, and George and Oliver are walking down the stairs. We realize it's a couple of days later.
Yeah,
Renee has not come back from New York.
That's right.
And not only that, she's gotten an agent. Explain to the people that that's not a quick thing.
It's not a quick thing, but my God, when you're the legs of the cigarette box,
I know.
My God, you can do anything.
So she gets an agent, and I'm like, oh my God. She's like, wait, Renee was serious. Her last words to George were I want to be a team. I want to be needed. And she's in New York with no plans to come back.
And unsurprisingly, George is realizing how empty the house is without her, and he's lonely.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, thank God, it's Dorothy. Thank God, Dorothy's here.
I love this because Dorothy enters. She sees Oliver. They clearly know each other, and there's some beef there. Now, we are going to learn through this exchange something about Blanche's house that we didn't know.
Oh, Dorothy. What a nice surprise.
For you, maybe. George, I wanted to talk to you.
Do I detect a note of hostility?
A note? How about a symphony? George, we thought you might like to join us for dinner. George,
I get the feeling, Dorothy, that you might be a little mad at me. Why is that?
How about stopping by New Year's Eve with 3 naked women, throwing up in the pool, passing out in the punch bowl, and relieving yourself in the linen closet?
That was 6 months ago.
Throwing up in the pool?
They have a pool.
They have a pool? We are never going to hear about the pool ever again.
Where is the pool?
Where's the pool?
Oh, I'm inquiring. You're right. Good catch.
I was like, what are you talking about throwing up in the pool?
Detective cheesecake.
And I'm like, B, you're not going to take that to I understand that Susan Harris is sick this week, but you're not going to take that to the writers and be like, what pool?
What pool? And do we ever hear about the trophy in the linen closet again? I don't think so.
Your poop went through the U.S. mail.
Yeah, so they...
It went through the U.S. mail. That's why those mail handlers are always wearing those gloves.
She's also, I love this. She says, Oliver calls her Dot, and I'm like, only Detective Mullins calls her Dot.
I know. She's not having it, by the way.
No, well, she's out, and George is not having him either because he's decided he's going to go to New York and get his woman.
Yes.
And Oliver thinks he's going. He's like, no, you're not invited.
What are you talking about,
Oliver? What are you
Oliver?
talking about? So we're in New York City, thank God.
Yeah.
It looks like we're outside the plaza.
Oh, right, yeah.
Rita Moreno opens the door to that sex on a stick, George.
Oh, my God.
Thank God you're here. I was a wreck. I was sitting there night after night with Oliver, just lonely as hell. I didn't know what was going on up here. Now I thought, what if I lose her? What would I do without her? I want her here with me. I want to be there with her, too. And there's going to be some changes made, and I love you. And what the hell are you doing opening a door in New York City without saying who's there?
I wasn't going to stay here, George. I missed you. I couldn't stand it. And I realize I've been going too fast for you. You can't change overnight.
It hasn't been too fast. First of all, you've brought up the topic 73 times in 21 minutes.
I know.
And also, let's just say this, they're in their 50s. It's not that unreasonable. She's asking him to slow down.
Right.
when he's not far from retirement, it's perfectly reasonable. It's not too fast,
no,
for God's sake.
Not. And I love that she looks like $1 million in this scene too. She just looks incredible. But he's afraid he's gonna lose his woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's been making some plans. He says, I'm making some changes.
This is when we get to the office and the house idea.
Yes, exactly. Because he made a sketch on the plane. He's gonna move the practice to the house. I don't quite know how parading a bunch of sick-ass people through her house is going to make things better.
Well, I did think of that other popular show in the 80s at this time, The Cosby Show, and he was an obstetrician.
Yes.
And it was in the basement.
Uh-huh.
So you could, there's plenty of, we live in New York, there's plenty of therapists who have, I remember going to a massage therapist in the city who the foyer was curtained off and that was the office. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible.
No, it's totally possible. And then they decide they're going to stay in New York for their second honeymoon. But she's got to point out, it is not their second honeymoon.
Listen, we didn't really have one. You were an intern.
Right.
And I got Maslansky to take part of my patient load, too. In fact, I got him to take it all for the next 3 days while we're here in New York on our second honeymoon.
George, I love you. But, honey, this isn't our second honeymoon.
It's our third?
We never had one.
Oh, come on. Of course we had one.
George, you were an intern. I don't call 2 hours in an empty hospital bed next to a man in a coma a honeymoon.
Honey, I lied. That man wasn't in a coma.
Oh!
And you know what, Patrick? Honey, I lied. He wasn't in a coma. Oh, I love that. And they go to kiss. Zero chemistry.
Zero kind of. Oh my God, they're gonna have sex and I have to look away.
I know, but
chemistry.
they want us to think they've not left that bed in 3 days.
Well, also when they go in for that kiss, they do that stage kiss thing where you don't open your mouth.
100%. They
did. That what you do on stage? You don't open your mouth. You don't tongue make out.
No. Well, I mean, it depends on the role. There's certainly been
have you tongue made out on stage?
Yes, a long time ago.
Was it good?
No. In fact, my first grown-up kiss was on stage. I was 16.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it? A tongue?
Oh, no. The following year I was 17, and oh my gosh, I'm going to get this poor person in trouble. I mean, he was in his 30s, but we were tongue kissing for days.
Was he hot?
Yeah, we thought the hots for each other.
Oh, okay.
But I was 17,
it was a different time.
And he was an adult. So.
Oh my God, what did your parents have anything to say about that?
My dad was very not happy that I was in this sexy show to begin. I mean, it was the first time he kind of threw down about how inappropriate it was, and I can't say I blame him.
Oh my God, over my dead body, Daisy Judith.
But I mean, I'm just always been super sexual. I'm like, thank you, Dad, for taking care of me. Get over here, you. Not Daddy, but the other guy.
Get under the foos table.
The other Daddy.
Oh my God.
So listen, we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
We're post-coitus.
Yes.
She says it's been a great 3 days.
This exchange made me so uncomfortable, and the audience literally groaned.
Okay.
She says, and you'll love me always. And he says, always. And she says, because I won't always look like this, George, post-coitus, holding her in the bed, says, honey, you don't look like you did 10 years ago, but that hasn't mattered. The audience goes, whoa, like what?
I know. I'm like, how's that beer gut going for you, George? I mean, I don't mind leaving that in because I'm saying
yes.
I want a partner where they're going to slap my cellulite and go, look at that. Give me some of that. And I want to slap his little love handle and go, come on, bring that over here.
Yeah,
you sexy motherfucker. You want to love people. We all got our shit.
Totally.
And it's all about your attitude and your loving people. But I'm like, if you're going to hold up a mirror to me,
I know.
Let's just talk about it, Georgie.
Well, how did that
I'm
get
sorry.
past the writers?
What did you give your patient again for their diet? Fuck off. Fuck off, you motherfucker. They tell each other they love each other. Jesus Christ. And then it's dark, Patrick. And I'm like, all of us think it's over, but nope. One more thing.
Weirdest line ever uttered in sitcom history.
George, promise me you'll never get your teeth bonded and run around with stewardesses.
I promise.
You swear?
I swear.
I love you.
I love you too, sweetheart.
George. Promise me one more thing.
What?
Promise me you'll never die.
Promise me you'll never die. And the audience starts to clap. You know why? Because they've just died watching this thing. I'm like, the episode is dead. Thank God.
Oh my God.
Everyone's clapping. It's over.
Can I do I know I've sort of sprinkled this throughout, but I've got a mini ditty on this episode as the backdoor pilot.
Yeah.
Right? So as I was saying, this is the most universally reviled episode of the series by fans by far. It gets only 3 out of 10 stars on IMDb, and it's the lowest rated episode of the series by a rather large margin, it says. One of the biggest critics of the episode was Rita Moreno herself, who calls it one of the most embarrassing projects of her career. Now, as Rita tells it, she went through hell to get to this audition. She was doing her act on a cruise ship in St. Thomas. And she got the call the night before that she had to be in LA for this audition. And she said she had 24 hours to get to LA. She went through hell. It was literally like a rainstorm and a monsoon. And she got there. She said she got into the room, did the audition, fell like a thud. Nobody laughed. Nobody clapped. She said thank you and walked out. Her husband called to see how it went. She said they hated me. And then an hour later, she gets a call saying she got the part.
What I'm getting from all of this is it just never changes.
Right.
The constant having to prove yourself over and over again.
Or she had an Academy Award.
Yeah, right. It just never, it's wonderful for me because it heals something in me. And it's a great reminder for me.
Yeah.
But it's also fucking awful.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's just never ending.
And you get the sense that the original idea for the episode was about the George character, and she was a more supporting character.
Okay.
But as they were rewriting it, her part kept getting bigger, but she didn't know what she was doing. She didn't really understand her motivation. Everything kept changing. I told the story about how it changed so much that she couldn't remember her lines.
Yeah.
And she said that is so specifically an actor thing that only other actors will understand. Of course, the lines are right there. You read them, but you can't remember them because you're trying to understand the person.
And sort of displaced shame. It's that shouldn't be her shame because it's up for really valid reasons.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Except it's just backwards. But
so, as we said, Empty Nest eventually did become a series, but only after some serious retooling. The producers decided to go in a different direction with Empty Nest because they decided that if they had gone forward with this one, it just would have been about those two characters bickering all the time,
Yeah.
Which you're kind of what else is there for them?
Which was kind of my point about why people watch these things to escape.
Yes.
Not to. It's like Marilyn May
yes.
is probably the most famous cabaret artist we have right now. And she says that she likes her shows to be a way for people to escape. So she doesn't like it to be about problems.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%. And so the show Empty Nest, which eventually premiered a year or so later, ran for 7 seasons and followed the life of Harry Weston, played by Richard Mulligan, and his quirky family. And the side characters were and Carol and Barbara, the daughters, with Dinah Manoff and Christy McNichol. I loved
it. Was huge. I remember.
Huge. I loved it. I also loved Nurses, the other spinoff. Oh my God. Anyway, I loved Empty Nest. That's the whole story.
Yeah, I loved Laverne, played by what's her name?
Park Overall.
That's it. Park Overall.
Yeah.
I remember looking at her you have to see it to believe it. I remember looking at her going, I'm kind of her type.
Yeah. Oh,
she's my I could do that,
She played Rowena in the Black Sea Blues movie, the hooker that he loses his sex worker that
what
he loses.
What have I said? If you need a hooker, a maid, or a nurse, call Samard. Sex worker, we say. Thank you.
Yes.
That's wonderful, Patrick.
Thanks, girl.
Love it.
Oh, Mother, we did it. We got through it.
I didn't know that we were going to survive this one, honestly.
I know. I didn't hate it as much as everybody did. I'm glad that the Empty Nest that we get eventually is the Empty Nest that we get. I loved Empty Nest.
Yeah.
Cheesies, join the Facebook group. It is the Golden Girls Deep Dive Podcast discussion group. It is so much fun. So many people in there. Almost 7,000 people in there now. Should they come and check us out on TikTok and Instagram as well?
Please. We have Aaron just making the best content ever.
I know.
And you can be a lurker. You don't have to post anything.
At Golden Girls Deep Dive, check us out.
Check us out. We love you, Cheesies.
Mother, it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I love you so much.
And thanks. Everyone's been so nice. And I'm going to start sharing. I've gotten so many gifts. And I, by the way, I do get them. I love them all. Thank you so much.
Also, Sam from Florida has put together a video for you that she sent to me. I'm going to show it to you right after this.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you.
We love you, Cheesies.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.